Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodities Report, and we're looking at the 30-year US yields here, and I'm thinking that they will top out in this B wave over here in line with the US dollar. Now the US dollar, if we take it from this low here, well, it's not quite the low, but if we take it from this low here, you can kind of count up for one here, and you may be able to take it to here as well. And then this would be the third wave here. So we still need the fourth and the fifth to go up here to finish this off here. And that would be very much like the US dollar as well in that particular rally. So the dollar is obviously very important to the commodities, and that's what we're looking at. So we can have a look at some of the currencies to help us understand things. So with the dollar yen here, it hasn't made a new low below here, where the DXY has made a new low below here. So in this case, we can count the US dollar up as as A and B, and going up for the C wave here. Now, in this instance here, there is a little bit of confusion of how you could count this in here. So I understand that. Yeah, picking it up from here, we still need at least one correction and one more move to the upside. Now, this is important for products like gold as well, in reverse, so they need to finish that off in reverse. So just to keep an eye on a few of the currencies for that purpose. This is the DXY here. So in this case here, we're looking at the B wave here going up to the C wave with wave 1 and 2 here. Now this is quite complex here, so that means that wave 3 and 4 over here will be a little bit more simple. But you can see quite clearly, understanding that this particular trend here, it hasn't really it's all part of one family. It hasn't nothing sort of left this particular pattern yet. So that means that we don't have a wave 4 here yet, whichever way you would like to look at it, and then we don't have wave 5 yet. So we still need that, and you'll need that, as I mentioned, on the downside for gold as well, because we have to remember that the US dollar and gold on a daily basis has had all the same turning points. Now that doesn't have to hold true, so we don't want to fall asleep at the wheel, so I understand that as well. So in looking at this little top here, it's possible to put this wave 5 top here and try to squeeze 5 waves out of it. It's also possible to bring wave 4 over here as an A and a B and a C as an expanded flat. So I won't worry about it at the moment. I can see this is 1 and 2 and 3 here. So I could probably even push this up a little bit. But there's a few things that I can do here. I'm not concerned about it. We're not trading it. We're just keeping an eye on it because we'll be trading gold more so. And even with gold, I'm sort of more interested in gold stock, because if we're holding them for a period of time, then you may as well be collecting a small dividend on the way with it as well. So in a nutshell, this US dollar has not completed here. Another way we look at the dollar is via the dollar fund here, and in this case here, very much like the dollar yen, we've got the A, the B and the C here. In this case, this dollar fund hasn't taken out the low here, but it did on the DXY. It took that low out, so we can still see that ABC pattern here, so that's nice. We can see this is 1 and 2 here. You could put 1 and 2 in here as well, but it's hard to get 5 waves up here. I can get sort of 3 waves up here. So anyway, a little bit of a mystery and a bit of work to do in there. But once again, we can see that straight line here. You can see that we simply don't have wave 4 yet in here. So that means we don't have 4, we don't have 5. Now that could be the top here, or we could have another little push up here and all those sort of things that will consolidate in this area because of the old high here. So really that's where the dollar is, and you could pin the euro dollar off this as well, and also the Australian dollar. So in this case, we may have the low in place here for the euro dollar, looking for an ABC here for wave 4 and then move down. Now we're seeing silver and gold pop up a little bit like this as well, but it's highly likely that it's just a 4th wave and we need the 5th wave to go down. Now if I was wrong and this is a low here, then I still wouldn't make a move. I'd still need to see this as 1 and 2 here, and then this 3rd wave up here would be an ABC. So if we got a 4th and a 5th, if we got 5 waves up there, well then you've got my attention, and we would buy the pullback as an ABC here, because the ABC is part of our setup. This confirms 5 waves in the opposite direction of the trend. That will give us another 5 waves over here, so our setup can come in at this point and we can manage our exposure at that particular point in time. So that's a nice safe setup. So this is the Australian dollar here as well. So when we arrived here, we're looking at a wave 4. Now there's a couple of different wave 4s we could look at it with. It doesn't matter at this point in time. We're not going to trade it around 65. We understand that's a medium level. It carries a fair bit of weight in history here. I don't need to prove it, but yeah, so maybe I do, I don't know, anyway, whatever. So nothing to be had here. We could probably even get another bounce off here before we get another downside here. We could look at it as this wave 3 or this wave 3 here. It doesn't really matter. I'm not suggesting a trade at this point with that. And then we come over to the gold section, and this is the gold stock index here, and you know, you'll see most gold stocks, ABX, NCM, Newmont, North Star, or whatever country and thing that you're looking at. If you've got a gold stock that's got this kind of pattern, well then that's going to be quite sort of helpful. So once again here, I don't know if that's a low in here. I haven't bothered sort of figuring this out of the low here, but we've got the beginning, the middle, and the end of the trend. So there could still be this could all be a little 4th wave here with another little move down here. We could even go up here first and then down. It's not tradable at this point, but we're looking for an ABC here and then another move down at that point, and then we can start to look. We really want that US dollar top in as wave 2 up here, that dollar top. So because they will turn together, well, they have been, and they're on track to do the same at the moment. Rightio, so US spot gold. So once again, yesterday we were looking for the low here, then we're looking for the A and the B and the C wave here for this, so that can pull back up to the wave 4, 1 lesser degree, and then we'll see this move down at this point here. There's a couple of ways you could count this first 1 and 2 in here. I understand that, but I also understand that we just need to be patient, and we do need to see an impulse wave. We need to see all the markets, not all the markets that we're just talking about, sort of all have the turn at the same time. And, you know, it's the same old story, nothing to trade, and then everything is tradable. But it's kind of helpful because, you know, we can run with the herd at that point. But it's just not ready yet. And if I have made a mistake, which wouldn't be the first time, then we'll need to look at that as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I want to see 5 waves up here first, you know. And besides, we want a classic trading levels pattern on here for this as well. You know, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, this type of pattern here, that's what we would need at that point. So we're far from that at the moment. Obviously the money's in the turn if you want to buy at the turn, but so is the risk. But I just, you know, it's possible to be here. I mean, if I put this example, if I ignored the spike and I put wave 1 and 2 here, then I could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 3rd wave to here, the 4th and 5th. So all of this could be the 3rd wave here. I can put wave 3 over. I can put this wave 3 here and justify it if I justify the spike, you know, and then put wave 4 here, and then that's the low in place. But the dollar's not telling me that that's the game at the moment, so I just need to look at other things and just chill and, you know, mull things over. But that's kind of where we are at the moment for that. Silver's in a slightly different situation. We've got wave 1 up here with the A, the B, and we've been counting 5 waves down here, and I can count the 5 waves. I've accounted for all the little waves as basically one from wave B, blue B to blue C of 2. We're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And yesterday we mentioned that you could go long above that thing there, so that high. We had a look at that on another particular thing. So if you have gone long there, then you'll need to leave your stop under here at that point. How far you get, because I'd also want to see another 5 waves here as well. So even if I saw 3, if this pushed up here, because it does look like a little impulse wave to the upside here, you could probably stick the stop under that other low there as well, this low here, because it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, I mean, to call the low in properly, I want to see nice 5 waves, and we'll buy the pullback there anyway. This was just for people that can't keep their fingers off the button, but let's just go in and have a look at that. 50 ticks should do the trick. Okay, so this is the first one we're calling up. We thought that was like wave 1 and 3, 4, 5 ABC pattern here. And it looks like we've got a nice little situation here. It looks like 1 and 2 and 3 here, and then 1, 2, I don't know, something in here. A correction here, that's okay. Then slight little impulse wave and a correction here. So just refining things a little bit further. If you wanted to move into this again, it looks like we've got 5 waves there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. So still it's just leaves me 3 waves there that would need to push up from there, because that's corrective at this point as an A and a B and a C. So I really want to take that out. So what you could look for here in tuning to the trading levels a little bit would be the 30, 20. So you could go, well, if that's 3 waves to here, that means you can go long above that one. How's that? And then you could look to get a classic trading levels pattern. You could get a classic trading levels pattern at this level here and go above that as well. But this could just drop from here based on this. But this needs, I mean, doesn't appear to be impulsive. It looks corrective here, but it needs to take out that top to confirm that, or give us more than 3 waves here. Okay, so anyway, you've been told. And yep, so that brings us over to iron ore. So with iron ore here, it's pretty much on track. We were from, I won't go into the bigger picture, but we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. And so now we've got the pullback here. This is what, 680. That's also about nice low here and all that. It's also about the 62% retracement level. So we should have a little push up there. So you can expect the Rios, the FMGs, the Vales and the BHPs of the world to push up on that. But how far that goes, once again, we're looking for this as a corrective rally, and for me to change my mind on that, I'd need a larger 5 waves up of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're just working a corrective rally. Normally the A wave is the sharpest, so when something comes down, the A wave is the sharpest to pull back. It obviously takes out stops, people's stops and all those sorts of things, and triggers things in. And then the B wave and the C wave's a little bit lazier. So we'll see if this C wave here gets a little bit lazy, and then we'll know we're on track. And then we could also short, not only short some of this, we could short those stocks as well in that space. And that brings us over to copper. So just tuning into the low here for this. So yesterday we started to count up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I included all that in the 5th wave. It just sort of counted better. But the thing is that maybe I've got that wrong, and we need to put wave 3 over here somewhere, and a wave 4 here, and a wave 5 here. We've got our 5 waves up here, which is probably the case. But we can see that little 5 waves here, and that's corrective. You see how it took out the B wave here, that top, there's an A and a B and a C, it took out that top there, and we've got 5 waves here. So yeah, that's all good to go. We've pulled back 50-60% easily there. Probably another little impulse wave there. You could probably go long on that and push up from that point. So but once again, we're looking for a wave 4 here. I'd have to get a larger 5 waves to move in on that. And let's just have a little quick look at lithium. So over here for lithium, and I'm just going to focus on, well, this is interesting. This is the lithium futures at COMEX here. Now this is a weekly chart. If I had it as a daily chart, all you'll see is dots. But the takeaway here is, look, obviously it's very tricky to count in sort of Elliott terms, but I'm not looking at it in those terms. I'm just simply looking at it as, well, that's being sold off, isn't it? And it's finding support around the 40 here. It does look like a 3rd wave in this little move here with 1 and 2 and 3. And so I think there's 4 and 5 to come down here further. Now we know that over here that a lot of the little Australian stocks are, they're booming because of particular takeovers, I'd imagine, to a point. Lithium's not that scarce. You can find lithium everywhere, really, but it depends on the cost of getting it out of things, I guess. But Australia is got some good high quality lithium, and all the car companies come here. But then again, there's not a lot of lithium in batteries as people think. More nickel and iron. But these two here, these are the two big $140, $150 billion companies. And if I just go to the daily chart here for a moment, I can see here without too much ado that this move up here on the daily chart is in 3 waves. So that means eventually this low will be taken out. So that means lithium will be coming down here further, and this is the other one here, much the same pattern. Probably get 5 waves out of that, but yeah, anyway, we'll see. If I had a nice support on 80 here with an impulse wave, then we would, you know, be on the more positive side with that stock. I should just mention this little one here for the Aussies, because yesterday we were looking at this. It appeared that we had we're getting 5 waves down, so it's dropped again. So that's 5 waves down from the top. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. So that means that from, is that the high there in the middle? Yeah. So from that place there, it looks like we've got sort of 3 waves here, as an A and a B and a C wave here. So that will leave us an A and a B and a C. That could leave us an A. And this, basically what I'm saying here is that all of this can be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for a larger wave 4. That's what I'm thinking if you're stuck in this market. Because we've got 5 waves here coming down here, then that means that we're going to have a counter trend at some point, and that means we'll go down again at that point. So we were looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, overlap, and then 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably another little low in here. So don't start buying hope if you see a little rally here, because it will just be coming back into here somewhere, supply levels, and then probably going down at that point based on those 5 waves here. Now, if it's got 5 waves here and gets 5 waves over there, then it kind of brings it down. You know, let's just make some assumptions that will come down here a little bit lower, and then that would put that back over at supply level. So we'll be down quite close to $4 here with this. So when we go back to the daily chart here, just what does that look like in the bigger picture at $4 here? I mean, that's quite a lot, isn't it? You know, even 410, you know, it's pretty much past anything that if we go up to here, it'll be down 50. I mean, it could be up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2 as an ABC, back for 2, coming back to the 61.8%. I'd have to say it's possible. Can't rule it out. But I don't think it's something that, as an A and a B and a C wave here and then moving up, I don't think it's something that we can pin our hopes onto just yet for this. So just be a bit mindful of the dangers in that. So I will leave that at that. And that's copper. And then nickel here, I'm not going to worry about it too much because it's still in a downtrend as 1 and 2 and all the way down for 3. Some type of 4 occurring here. We've just been watching the paint dry here, so there could be another rally here. I'm not quite sure, you know, what wave 4s get like, but we still need to come down further, and there's still, even once we get this 3rd wave here, we need this 4th wave here. So basically we need to take this previous low out here, and we're quite away from that at the moment. So it could be months down here, you know, realistically for this. So that's the kind of pressure that's on those commodities. So we'll see how the US dollar performs and if it turns and so on. Now over to the crude market. So the market came down here, and the thing is that what I'm basing my opinion off is that we've got wave 1 and 2 here. Then we've got 1 and 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave here for the 3rd. So we do have a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we've got 5 waves here, that means it needs to play out somewhere, you know, another leg over here to the upside. So this one here doesn't really count as 5 waves. I mean, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm sure Elliott people start chucking stuff at me again, so we won't do that. So over here, we can look at this as, let's go. I mean, we could look at it as an A wave. We could also look at it as wave 1 here and wave 2 over here. bit of a long shot, because we're calling this in as a low down here, but as wave 5. I mean, this is definitely a wave 4 here, and everything's gone, quite well. And because it's a wave 4, then it's possible that we've got a low in here. But it's not, now that it's doing this expanded flat type of correction here. I don't really particularly want to label it wave 1 at this stage. There'll be an equal opportunity for this being a wave A and a wave B over here. But we still should see another move to the upside here somewhere based on those 5 waves here. So from here, we'll look at this as 1, 2, 3, a correction here, and then down for 4, 5 here, and then we can push up from that point. So nothing, we didn't get our trade. We were looking to go long above that top there, the first high above the level. Didn't get it, didn't get triggered. We used the trading levels to have a safe trade, so it didn't click us in. And we'll need to look at this here as the A and the B wave here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. I haven't pulled all this apart here just yet. But yeah, so there could be another little low in here, but we still need 4 and 5 to go here at that point. So that's where that is at the moment. And then natural gas here. So perhaps you can tell me what this is, because from the top here, we can come down as wave A and B here. And then we've got this as 1 and 2, and all the way down for 3 and 4 and 5. Now wave 5 is a bit short, but so is wave 1, and the extension's in wave 3. So it's actually really quite sort of fitting. So the other change that we could do here is we could actually put this as wave 1 over here, and wave 2 here, and then another wave 3 here, and a wave 4 here, and then come down for wave 5. Now we could look at this as being bullish here. We could do that. We can look at this here. If we're going to look at it as bullish, and we'll give it one more chance, but 1 and 2 here, and then and then a smaller wave 1 here and wave 2 here. But we don't want to see it going down any lower than it is. And already here, this really appears more like, because we dropped in another low here, it sort of appears that that we have 5 waves down here. But we can give it a bit of chance. I could see how we could label it an ABC. So technically, the bullish market will hold up technically as long as that low doesn't get breached at that point. Now, if this is a larger wave 3 down here based on this low here, not this one. So we can look at it as wave 3. Or wave 4 over here. So we've got a bit of work to do on this now, unfortunately. The only other way I could sort of see this is that if we have this wave 3 here, and then we put this wave 4 over here somewhere and look for some sort of A, B, C, D, and E over here, which we have talked about before. But yeah, there's a pretty good case for 5 waves down here. So but there's a good case for 5 waves up here as well. But if it was 5 waves up here, then it wouldn't be a triangle anyway. So yeah, the mystery continues. So yeah, so that's where that is. If at any stage along the way we can get support on, let's just go to the intraday. Now that we've talked about this, we're basically talking about it. Do we have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2? Or do we have this as an A and a B and a C correction here? And then we're going to go down further at that point. Does wave 5 come over here? Is this wave 1 with an ABC for 2? It looks a little bit big for wave 2, so I can't really go there with that. So I've got a little bit of an issue here with this. So on 50K, so we'll go to, just cut through to 1K, I guess. So here, let's just bring in, let's just get a chunk of data in. Okay, so so we could look at it from the low here with wave 5 as 1 and 2 here, and then blue wave 1 and blue wave 2 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and we put wave 2 here and put wave A here, but it's not really counting that well in regards to all of this. So let's just go in a little bit further here with this. So if at any stage, if we get a classic trading levels pattern on top of the 2500 here, then we can go, when we can start going long again in all of this. But there's 5 waves here, So it can be wave 1 or wave A, and then 2 and B here. But looking at this here, it looks like 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave here, the fourth wave here, and the fifth wave down here. Not that it counts very nicely as 5 waves here. I could put wave 4 here, I could put wave 4 over here as well, but it doesn't really sort of matter. I still get this leg here, and that means that I still get this leg as really 1, 2, 3, 4 here, because that's a beautiful 5-wave structure here. So it's kind of giving me 5 waves to the downside. So that's why I'm a little bit sort of thinking, do I look at it as wave 1 here or wave A and back for wave B? So I just need to mull it over a little bit further. This is the 61.8% here. Not that that's a huge deal breaker, but we're not far from it. But it's hard to look at this as an A wave here, a B wave here. That's okay. But then finding this move down here as, I suppose the only other way I could do it, I could go from wave B, I can go 1 and 2 and 3 here, and I could put wave 4 over here and have an A and a B wave here and a C wave here, or WXY or something, and then look down at that point, or even put it over here, actually put it to here as an A and a B and a C wave here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and have the low. I don't know. I don't know. I just got to wait and see now. I just didn't. We couldn't be in the market at this particular point in time. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it all at that. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot going on in the commodity world at the moment. So we need the US dollar to top out, and then that will give us buying opportunities for the Australian dollar, the euro dollar, and golds and silver and gold, silver stocks, those sorts of things. Alrighty, cheers.